Hey, what is it, Zaccheus? With another live word of the day. God bless for tuning in. God bless for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. And today, I'm going to talk about the story and share the story of Jezebel and talk about her and why was she wicked? Why was she evil? And I'm going to share that with you today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brethren out there, Jezebel come up out of the book in the Bible, First Kings and Second Kings. In those chapters in the Bible, Jezebel was the daughter of Finian king called Baal, king of Israel, king of Canaanite, the Canaanite king. My mistake, Canaanite. And what made her so powerful is she married Ahab. Ahab seen her beauty. It was all flawed by her beauty. Although she was not a Hebrew, Ahab, the king of Israel, married Jezebel. And he married her. She's beautiful. As I hear a caption of her right there. Married her. And as he married her, she became the queen of Israel. Although she's a Canaanite woman. And she reigned with her husband, Ahab, over Israel. And as she reigned over Israel, she was very crafty and conniving and manipulating. There was a man named Naboth. I hope I'm saying his name right. Naboth had vineyard. And one day Ahab wanted to make a deal with him. And he wanted to make a deal with Naboth. And as he made the deal with Naboth decided to, because of the association with a Canaanite woman, Naboth decided not to go along with the deal that Ahab, the king, was giving him. And that made Ahab down a little bit. It made him a little sad that the vineyard, that he didn't want, that Naboth didn't decide not to take the deal that he offered. So Jezebel walked into his room and she realized that her husband, the king Ahab, was sad. And she told him to get up, stop being in misery, and get something to eat. Jezebel lied to Ahab as well and said that she lied about Naboth. She told Ahab, her husband, that Naboth was worshiping other gods. It was not worshiping the God of the Hebrew God, which is God, and he was not worshiping, decided not to worship no God. He don't. So Ahab invited Naboth to the table, and the prophets all came, and they know what Naboth stand for. No war. He doesn't worship God. And in those days, it was very disrespectful to say that you're not worshiping a God. It's very disrespectful and very like a rule that you don't do, something that you don't do. It was against the law of the land and against the rule. You could be stoned for it. So Jezebel lied to the prophets, to the other colleagues sitting at the table with the king, her husband, Ahab, and said that he did not worship no God. So that caused Naboth to get stoned and killed. All because of the lie that Jezebel said to her husband, King Ahab. She lied. She lied. And one day, and she got away with that lie. So one day, she also had other prophets killed. She got them, lined them up, and took them. She ordered them to take them and hide them. Told her husband and lied to her husband. That she's gonna protect them. She had them killed and murdered. Now, she also caused Hebrews in the land of Israel to to carry on because she worshipped the false god Baal, to immorality, sexual immorality. She caused adulterous behaviors. She herself was committing adultery on her husband. Jezebel manipulated Ahab. And because of as she manipulated Ahab many times, one of the prophets also addressed King Ahab and said that one day that you and your household, you and Jezebel will be eaten by dogs, thrown down and eaten by dogs. But then King Ahab ripped his clothes. He ripped his clothes in despair. In those days, when they got angry, they used to rip their clothes. They would tear their clothes in agony and despair. And my gosh, Jezebel continued lying, continued manipulating her husband, King Ahab. Lying on the people of God, lying on the Israelites. And as a result, she'll get them killed because of her lies. As she was manipulative, she got Ahab to do what she wanted at all times. And this is why the Bible speaks about being unequally yoked. When you marry somebody that's not of God, that don't desire to worship God, have no desire to serve God, you're treading on dangerous grounds. Because your house will have a different spirit in it. Your house will be in disarray. Be a lot of confusion. And if you have children in her, it's going to be a lot of confusion. And this is why people wind up, sometimes, some people wind up getting into divorce because they're not compatible with each other. They're not compatible with each other. So it causes confusion and it causes disarray in your home. And it causes arguments and fights. Because if she has a Jezebel spirit, which is manipulative, and she's always lying. Now, don't get me wrong, ladies. They have some men that have the Jezebel spirit too. They're manipulative, they're lying. But today I'm talking about Jezebel. Women that have the Jezebel spirit. If you're a man that's after God's own heart, you cannot marry someone that has the Jezebel spirit. That's manipulative, always lying, dishonest, don't have no integrity, always treating people mean and lying on them, always trying and joyful when you get somebody else in trouble. Now, it was very hurtful that she got some of the prophets, the Hebrew prophets, murdered and killed. And it was very painful that she got Naboth killed. I think it's Naboth killed, that owned the vineyard. And she continued with her tyranny. She continued with her tyranny to continue with the story. And one day, as she mimicked and mocked, she got one of her sons, I think she got one of her sons killed, and she mimicked and she mocked the Hebrew men walking because of the trouble they was getting into. And one of them prophets ordered her to throw. She was sitting on top of the windowsill, mimicking and mocking. The huge windows those days, you used to have huge windows. You could actually sit on the whole windowsill. They still have them today. And you can sit on the windowsill. But Jezebel happened to be sitting on the windowsill and looking down and making mockery of the Hebrews passing by. Just making mockery, laughing, making fun of people. Making fun of them. And as she made fun of them, one of the men that was after God's own heart said, you know what? And he was a leader, one of the leaders in the army, ordered to throw her down. Now Ahab, the king, had enough. He was overwhelmed. And at this point, when he found out everything that Jezebel did, he didn't know what to do. He was unequally yoked. And he was burdened down. His house was in disarray. And he had no idea. And he knew at that point that Jezebel was not right for him. Now, as Jezebel, go back to the story of Jezebel sitting on the windowsill. As she sat on the windowsill, the men was ordered that came up while she was sitting on the windowsill to toss her down. She caused so much confusion in Israel, causing Israel to be in disarray, causing Israel to almost have a curse on them. The land of Israel, it was cursed because Jezebel manipulated Ahab all the time. And as she was ordered her to get tossed down, and she was tossed down off the windowsill. And as she was tossed down off the windowsill, her bones, I said, hit the pavement, because it probably was stories high. Hit the pavement. And her bones were broken up in pieces. See, I mean, her body hit the pavement, and you can imagine that. And she died, of course. And as she died, as she hit the pavement, her bones were broken up. Dogs from the street, the hungry dogs, came and ate up all her flesh and blood. She was unrecognizable. When the dogs finished eating her up, she was unrecognizable. They ate everything, all the bones in her flesh up. The Bible says you sow what you reap, and you reap what you sow. And you reap what you sow. The Bible says you reap what you sow. So, when you do wicked, and when you do evil, it comes back to you. Your eyes will not close. Your eyes will not close until you see the wickedness you done. Your eyes will, before your eyes close, my mistake, before your eyes close and you leave this earth, you'll see what you done. You will reap what you sow. You'll reap what you sow. So I ask you, sister and brethren out there, to always strive to do good towards people. Always try to show integrity. Always try to show character. Because Jezebel was manipulative. Jezebel was manipulative. And she got what she wanted because she easily manipulated King Ahab into getting what she wanted and carrying out her lies and causing people to die, death. and causing people to get murdered. So the live word today is coming out of 2 Corinthians 6:14. Do not be yoked together with unbelievers, for what righteousness and darkness have in common? Or what fellowship light have with darkness? So you have to ask yourself, don't marry somebody that you're not compatible with, especially if they're not followers of Christ, especially if they're not walking in the footsteps of God. Do not marry somebody like this. You can't be just dumbfounded by her beauty, because Jezebel was beautiful. It's more than just the beauty. It's about the compatibility and how you connect, and if she is a virtuous woman, a prudent woman, a woman after God's own heart. Well, this is Zaccheus with another live word of the day. God bless and be safe out there. Peace and blessings. And if you like what I shared, smash the like button. Also subscribe to my channel, Zaccheus Gospel Soka. God bless and peace and blessings.